Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be on right after this song.
Trying to get out the city, born up in the nitty gritty. Gutter boy was treated shitty, running, flying, need no pity. Family life was blown, not enough for my cup. Trying to get out the city, born up in the nitty gritty. Gutter boy was treated shitty, running, flying, need no pity. Family life was blowing up, not enough for my cup. Trying only to look up, even as a baby I knew what's up. Ran away for college, trying to obtain that knowledge. For a baby boy Thomas to know himself as flawless. I was growing up in bondage to a redneck mind unpolished. Locked it up like a hostage, cause I was constantly admonished by my family, by my friends. I'm the weird kid yet again, piss me off and I demolish you. Nothing but the honest truth, it would just astonish you. Put you in a lock or two, only keep a couple few people close to me, but who? That is for me, not you. But please know that I love you too. Keep you in my heart and mind, and I will always root for you. Succeed and love your life, even get up and wife. Just here to make art for the soul, express my track. But if I find a goddess, then I gotta be honest. I'll give them my entire heart, no need for being. Stop driving through this town, it's honestly ironic when I I'm back, I promise. Trying to get out the city, was treated shitty, running, crying, need no pity. Moved on back, I'm stuck here now, hoping things and change, but wow. Post-storm leaders made a vow, then lie and steal and stay highbrow. Trying to get out the city, born up in the nitty gritty. Gutter boy was treated shitty, running, crying, need no pity. Moved on back, I'm stuck here now, hoping things and change, but wow. Post-storm leaders made a vow, then lie and steal and stay highbrow. Panama City politicians always clown. After Hurricane Michael, they left us all to drown. 5 million stole from FEMA, yeah, they thought they'd get a crown. Good old boy syndrome is the only party in this town. Kick them out of office, tear the entire system down. Charge $500 a month with wires lay up on the fracking ground. No power, no phone, but we paying for it anyway. Set they ass on fire, profits over people is the way. Burn them all down, take our money back, let them pray. Feed them to the fishes and the sharks up in the bay. Take this fight national, those phonies always stray from doing what the people want. They just look to prey on our fears and feed us lies through propaganda every day. Set us against each other so that we just fray and weaken our defenses. Yes, this is their play, so vote them out of office and please don't forget to spay.
This is Thomas Tyrannic reminding you to please stay and neuter your politicians by voting them out of office and petitioning for terms in the Senate and Congress. God bless America.
Hello, I'm Thor, son of Dale, here to tell you about the Life of Thor Productions official shop. The only place where you can get your official merchandise for the Lights Thunder Action podcast and Life of Thor's Thor Watches series. Whether you want t-shirts, tanks, hoodies, mugs, and masks, Life of Thor Productions official shop has you covered. If you happen to recognize there's an item that you would like to buy that is not in the official shop, head over to the Lights Thunder Action podcast or Life of Thor and request that item, because if you want it, we'll sell it. Just head to lotproductions.threadless.com/collections to get the item that calls out to you via the Force. Again, that is lotproductions.threadless.com/collections. Thank you and have a Thortastic day. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 36 of Lights Thunder Action. Every week, we discuss all things DC, Marvel, Star Wars, and the latest happenings in the entertainment industry. My name is Thomas Carter Rochester, a.k.a. the old son of Dale.
My name is David Thompson, and today we've got a full show for you guys. We've got some news touching on AMC possibly running out of money before we could even get movies back in the theaters. An update on the WB Ray Fisher, Joss Whedon situation. If you missed it, we had our 3.5 hour holiday special, spectacular Disney Day Investor Day meeting wrap up when we just talked about Marvel and Star Wars. And we have a little bit more from the Investor Day to talk about today. So hold on to that. Just a little bit more. If you didn't, if you're pining for more after those 3.5 hours, you'll get a little bit more from the Investor Day. And that's about it. And then obviously in our second half of the show, we're going to be talking about the second to last, the penultimate episode of Mando. This upcoming Friday is going to be it. So we got to talk about the chapter 15, The Believer, in the second half. Thomas, welcome to this Monday evening. How are you doing?
Bro, I'm so tired. I am exhausted. I haven't slept well in like 3 or 4 weeks. I'm not going to lie. I don't know. I'll have like 3 days where I sleep great, and then my dreams are psychotically vivid to the point I wake up and can write like 2 pages worth of stuff that happened in my dream. And then other nights I'll wake up and go, why was Jaws in my dream last night? That was really weird. And that's all I remember is just a random shark showing up. That is honestly, I have been grinding so hard since Mando started with 4 watches, and I am just, I'm beat, dude. I am losing the battle of energy. Having to look for like 5 jobs at once isn't helpful, but I'm alive. I'm here, Brennan. We've made it. Today's Monday, right?
Today is Monday.
We've made it to Monday. Folks, I'm ready. I'm ready. Are you ready? Oh, yeah. I don't know why I went to the Kool-Aid, man. I'm making energy out of nothing. David, you beautiful son of a blue. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Still recovering from our 3.5 hour bout we had yesterday, but we're here. We got we got a little more news to get to, and I'm excited. There's actually stuff. Obviously, Mandalorian's about to be ending for us, but we're still in the thick of that. And the exciting part of the entertainment industry right now is that stuff is, on the horizon. Yeah, and we can see it happening. We know that so many things are coming up that I cannot personally wait for. So Thomas, what have you been watching, my friend? Anything to report?
Anything, I mean, movies that I've seen hundreds, if not thousands of times. So I watched Step Brothers for the first time because, I needed to, like I said, I haven't slept well. I needed to pick me up this weekend. I needed to watch a comedy. My nephew is about the same age that I started watching movies like 40-Year-Old Virgin and all those crappy movies. Excuse me. They're amazing movies, but, not for a 14-year-old or 13-year-old. But we watched Step Brothers, and he'd never seen it. And I was like, you're going to understand at least 25% of the random quotes I throw out, such as, this wedding is horse poop. I didn't want salmon. I said it 4 times. I yell it all the time. No one seems to get that it's from Step Brothers. So we watched that. Glorious. I forgot how much I love that movie. It is just it's perfection. And then last night, I watched The Lion King because it's the greatest movie of all time. And straight up, David's going to be right back. Oh, no, guys, it's just me. What do I do? What do I do with my hands? Oh, I'll just quote Talladega Nights. No, I watched The Lion King, and it was, it's so good. I cried so hard last night. I needed it. I was exhausted, and I needed that. But, when Simba's just like, help, somebody.
You talking about Lion King over here?
The original, the good one.
I like the new one.
Okay, look, there's no emotion in the new one, like on their face, so it doesn't resonate the same. But when he's just like, somebody, anybody, I'm like, I remember when I was 3 years old and saw this movie. David, have you watched anything other than the Disney investor call?
Definitely watch that. Mandalorian, of course. I am on episode 5 of Attack on Titan, which I really want to dive into more, which is like an anime series, which is good. Also, I apologize for my technical malfunction. I could not hear anything for some reason, so I reset the app. Anyway, it's a Monday. What else can you expect?
Monday.
So yeah, I'm watching that. I'm looking forward to watching more of that. I know the new season's coming out soon. A lot of my friends are excited for it. I've been, binging The Office still just because that's just what I do. But yeah, other than those two things, nothing much. I've been listening to a lot of good podcasts. Specifically, now we're on the right side.
No, I realized that's what Terry was talking about.
Terry. Listening to some good podcasts. Always vigilantly listening to the Bill Simmons podcast. But if you guys want to listen to our podcast, we have an audio version of our show right here, the Lights Thunder Action Show podcast. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and our hosting site Spreaker. Our 3.5 hour wrap-up breakdown of every Marvel and Star Wars announcement from Investors Day is up on those services. Go check out the audio version. I'm sure none of you except Terry saw all of that, so you can go check out the full audio version there. Also find our videos on our Facebook page and the HWWS WebTV YouTube page. Thomas, what do you got for me?
Oh, I tried to pause it and it didn't work. I'm so sorry, everyone. I did not mean to burp in your ear. That is so... David, I'm going to need you to cut that from the audio. Okay. As always, you can find us live streaming right here on our Facebook page of Lights Thunder Action Show and the HWWS WebTV channel over on YouTube. Of course, we always post some random giblets of information and snippets of our show. When it's 3.5 hours, we might get a 10-minute segment that is, worthy of the Instagram. And that Instagram is at Lights Thunder Action, all one word, no hyphens, no spaces. And of course, on Twitter, we are LTA Podcasting. That's an action verb. That is LTA PODCASTING. And of course, over on YouTube, which we have, by the way, Lights Thunder Action, ! There, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. That is where all of our little clips will go from our show. That rhymed. I believe this brings us to our first commercial break, which thank God for those. I couldn't have burped during that. Damn it. If you would like to sponsor Lights Thunder Action, we will graciously accept your funds and we'll make you an amazing little advert. And you'll have a great voiceover. Well, I mean, probably not, but probably because some idiot did this one.
Reels and Heels is a podcast that discusses movies, television, wrestling, and more. With a rotating guest list of friends and filmmakers alike, Reels and Heels salutes the creative arts of all kinds. Join Ryan Winzeloff and Nicole Jobin live every Saturday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Reels and Heels.
And that brings it to everybody's favorite segment of the week.
What the news?
Thomas, I have breaking news. Forget that graphic. Get rid of that graphic.
AMC dead.
I don't know. I'm seeing it from 50 minutes ago, but here is what I am reading. The Snyder Cut of the Justice League will be R-rated.
What?
And not only will it be R-rated, but Batman will have multiple F-bombs.
And that is what I'm fracking talking about. That's what if there's anyone to cuss, it's gotta be Batman. Sorry, everyone. I got dyslexic for a minute. That's awesome.
Yep.
Did you see the other one? Because I sent you one, and it was about a potential release in another place.
Oh.
It's potentially going to be released in theaters as well.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, that is part of this report I'm reading. I'm reading off comicbook.com. Anyway, yeah, it says that it could also be re-released in theaters. It's going to be R-rated, F-bombs from Batman, Affleck. So yeah, Thomas, what are your thoughts on that?
Hell yeah. If you want to make the Whedon cut, the Justice League look even lamer, give us Batman dropping F-bombs.
Yeah, it's definitely a way to do it.
That's what we need. We all know that Ben Affleck wasn't in a good place during that time. He said it. He's been through the rehab. Yeah, I totes get it, bro. I would drop it. Seriously, he's a dude. He's a guy playing another dude in a cow's suit with a little scratchy throat. So, like, yeah, why wouldn't he be the guy dropping F-bombs? And I hope we get Superman looking at him like, come on, man.
Yeah, right.
like language.
Yeah. One of those moments. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm excited. I wonder if it will just be for language or if there will be more like, I don't know, bone busting action. If that could be part of it. That would entice me more than just a few F-bombs from Batman. Like if there
Give
was
me
some really-
blood.
I mean,
or give me death.
Batman
And
v Superman.
Give me blood and give me death.
Batman v Superman, true. Batman v Superman has some pretty like intense fighting scenes where it was almost like, and there's that one part where he like cuts his hand and stuff, like like that was almost like not pushing it, but definitely was like could have been in an R-rated movie. And that was obviously a full-on Snyder film. So I'm looking forward to this. Really, I think that makes me more excited for it. I'm already very excited to see it. No release date still for it, but next year coming up. And along with everything else on HBO Max, so it's not even the fact that it's going to HBO Max now isn't even that exciting, if you know what I mean. Just because now every other project Warner Bros is going there anyway. So anyway, that was the fun little breaking story. We can get on to the next topic of news, which isn't so fun, isn't so exciting. AMC.
They did. I said it earlier.
Yeah. So I'm reading off a Variety report here. The headline reads, AMC Theaters warns it could run out of cash in early 2021, which is not what you want to hear when these movies aren't going to start coming out until later in 2021. We know at least Morbius is still set for March. I think even Fast and Furious is like April, and then Black Widow is May. So those are some of the big tentpole movie, or at least Fast and Furious and Black Widow are going to should be blockbuster type movies coming out in the first half of 2021 that we would like to see AMC open for, in theory. So here we go. I'll read from here. In an SEC filing on Friday, the struggling movie theater company warned its resources may be drained as early as next month. This was written obviously in December, so January. In the absence of additional liquidity, the company anticipates that existing cash resources will be depleted during January 2021. So this could be the death of AMC that has been, since we began this podcast, 36 weeks ago, has been happening, right? I think in our first ever episode, we talked about AMC struggling. So, and the fact that we aren't getting, the mix of HBO Max, the whole Warner Media thing, that's not a help. Secondly, when are the theaters even going to get packed again, right? Like maybe for Black Widow, and even then, it's not going to be, we kind of discussed this yesterday, it's not going to be like a normal, it's not going to be a normal box office run by any means. Thomas, you heard this. I could go over a few more of the details, but this really, the bottom line is, we'll see. What do you think of all this? With AMC saying that potentially they could be out of money in 2021.
This is one of the reasons why I needed to cry last night. I won't lie. I'm so overwhelmed by all the sadness that is the year of 2020. I saved myself for that one F-bomb for PG-13. I need a break, bro. I just need a break from all this bad news. Do we have any good news? I know we got weird news coming up. Should we just jump to the weird news? I really got nothing. I am bummed.
Yeah.
But like at this point, they've been saying it, end of 2020, they're going to be out of money. And it's like, well, we all like sneezed really painfully. And then we woke up and it's like the end of 2020. So
yeah. Another little, we can move on because this isn't fun and we'll see what even happens because it's all kind of just not hearsay, but we'll believe it when we see it when AMC shuts down and actual theaters are just gone. Because there's so many, just the real estate of it. Like, could someone else come in? Like, what does it really mean that AMC is going to go out of business? One quick point. AMC has already deferred more than $400 million of rent obligations, $400 million of rent obligations to 2021. That's the problem with theaters is because of and especially like big chains like AMC and Regal, like just the amount of theaters there are that they have to pay rent for. It's just thank you, Warner Media. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Speaking of Warner Media.
Speaking of Warner Media is right. So it seems like we may have just come to a conclusion with this whole debacle that has been between Ray Fisher and Warner Media and Joss Whedon, and we'll see. But reading off Deadline, Ray Fisher says, "On our way," as Justice League probe concludes with remedial action by tight-lipped Warner Media. I'm going to read right from here. Here's a quote. "Warner Media's investigation into the Justice League movie has concluded and remedial action has been taken," the AT&T-owned media company said in a late Friday news dump. Beyond the statement from Global Communications Chief Christy Hauberger, Warner Media will not give any more details on that action or who it was directed towards. I hear reading off the article here. I hear high-level Warner Bros. Executives on the motion picture side were blindsided by tonight's announcement, and oblivious to who specifically was receiving punishment in this situation. The entire Justice League incident being completely handled by parent Warner Media. So just to kind of backtrack there, this was all
What?
Okay, yeah. So
I'm confused. And I've read this story and
here we go. High-level Warner Media, Warner Bros. Executive. So, okay, there's a difference between Warner Media and Warner Bros., right? So let's get that clear in our head.
That's why I'm confused.
Yeah, right. You almost want to think more AT&T when you hear Warner Media. And then Warner Bros. Is more of like the movie studio. So Warner Bros. Executives on the motion picture side, right, were blindsided by tonight's announcement and oblivious to who specifically was receiving punishment in the situation. So like it seemed unclear, like with the remedial action, who it would actually be affecting, if that makes sense. And they're reporting that the incident's being completely handled by parent Warner Media, by the parent company. So like it's not like the executives themselves aren't really dealing with it. It's just the parent company is working through all of this. So anyway.
Okay. All right. Cool. We got there finally. We thank God.
Thomas, you have any thoughts?
Well, I want to know who is getting in trouble. So then we can be like, ooh, because that's basically what we do on our show. It would just give us a little bit more to talk about, so that's why I want to know. But also, I don't want to say I don't care, but I kind of don't want to know who's getting in trouble and what they're getting in trouble for and what their punishment is. As like a person who respects boundaries, that's how I feel. But also, like for the sake of our show, I just want to be like, that guy sucks. Like, why'd they do that? That's it. Like I don't really have a lot on this, but like, I'm glad it's over. I saw Ray Fisher's tweet and he gave a little bit more. Apparently they thanked him for his involvement and no one else, is the wording of how it sounded. So yeah. But it is what it is. We have an amazing comment here that David, I really hope that, I can see you moving, so hopefully you can give us what the people want. David, Ryan Permerson of Nerd Culture, shout out Nerd Culture. Okay, well, David's gone. I guess he's not going to give us. Ryan, you scared out David. He will not give us our F-bomb that we deserve. So I guess it's up to me to soldier on. Coming up next in What the News, because I am now a journalist. That's a lie. We have yes. Disney reveals Marvel's Blade will release before Captain Marvel 2. For those of you that don't know, there's a PDF that has gone out explaining all of the new films and shows for not just Lucasfilm, but Marvel Studios as well. And in that, they list, I believe, let's pull up the graphic here. Black Panther 2 is scheduled July 8th of 2022. And Captain Marvel is scheduled November 11th of 2022. And Blade is set between those two in the PDF. So Blade is believed to be scheduled as well in 2022. Now they do have an October 7th, 2022 slot that everyone has been clamoring for that date to be for Blade.
It must be.
And it has to be, right? Like if it isn't, hot take. If it isn't, I will riot.
I mean, it must be. Looking at this, like, and it's honestly a wonder. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but there was such a silence, and they went so quick with the Blade. They didn't like announcement, just like talking about it. I mean, they Feige had one sentence on Blade, and then it was boom onto the next one. So there really wasn't much of an update on this film. You would think something like Ant-Man and the Wasp would be farther in production and would come out before. But hey, I mean, there's scheduling and there's all these other things that come into play when it comes to all these movies. So I think Blade is certainly going to come out in that October slot. It just seems obvious, and I almost am surprised we didn't hear that yesterday. Or Thursday.
Yesterday, Thursday, tomorrow. Who the hell knows days anymore? The most important thing to think about is that early October slate is typically it's rated R. It has been we've had Joker. We've had a dark. Oh, well, that's a thing. Weird time that we've had Joker drop there as a rated R. And we've also had Venom come out at PG-13. There was another movie that came out in that region that was R that I don't remember. I know Venom was supposed to come out that time this year. Or was it year? It was supposed to come out this year? Yeah, so it was supposed to come out this year. That was going to be pretty dark. So it makes sense that they would go there. And I think the reason they didn't announce anything is because this is the Disney investors meeting. And I do think they would not announce that first Marvel Studios rated R because it might put people in a conniption fit.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, and they didn't have to announce rated R. They could have just said, hey, it's coming out this time. I think they just don't know yet. I think maybe because they may want to put it out of that time spot and they have that set for it. But I think, I don't know if I said it. Yes.
There's a lot of wheels in motion for that still. So
yeah, no, for sure. And what's funny to me about this whole Blade project is this one feels so much more like Mahershala Ali, Blade. That makes a lot of sense. Let's make this movie. Not like, it's perfectly a part of our little like web here, like of all these things interconnecting. It's like Mahershala Ali as Blade would be amazing. Let's make this film. And then they bring him out on Comic-Con and everyone blows up. And that was it. Like they didn't have a director on it at that time. They had no like script even, it seemed like. So I think it's one of those movies that's going to feel almost, it's going to be MCU proper because he talks about it in that light. But I think it's setting itself up to be really different. And in that October slot would certainly mean that, especially because there wouldn't be a big break. That'd be a crammed MCU window from July 8th, Black Panther 2, then Blade in October, just a few months later. And then 1 month later, Captain Marvel in November. Like there'd be a 1 month difference between Blade and Captain Marvel 2, which would be pretty crazy. That'd be breaking for the MCU. They've never done that before in history, as well as probably a Disney Plus show happening at the time.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason I think that Blade will be rated R. Yeah, is Blade is a known commodity, and it never did bad at the box office, but it doesn't have as much hype behind it as Deadpool.
Right.
And that is why I think they are holding some stuff back, because I think Blade will be the first. I mean, it makes sense that Blade is the first rated R Marvel movie when it was the very first successful Marvel movie.
Yeah. Right.
8. So it makes a lot of sense. And then you have Deadpool, which is a totally different thing in and of its own, also rated R. It's kind of like when in all honesty, it's like comparing Thor: The Dark World, if it were good, versus Thor: Ragnarok. It's just a totally different vibe.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
but it comes with the same intensity. And David, you want to know something I noticed? As soon as you dropped out, like we lost our whole audience, man. Like they don't.
Oh
love you. They're only here for you. Everybody loves. You know what? Everybody loves David, and I honestly, I understand. David, I love you, bro.
Oh, thank you. I love you too. I apologize, by the way. My Wi-Fi just crapped out. I plugged in my LAN cable. The problem is the reason I haven't been using my cable, just full disclosure here, is because, it's really revealing. I got a new camera that also is plugged in by USB, and my mic's in the USB. I only have 2 USBs, so I had to pick and choose. So I changed the camera. Now I'm on my laptop camera, and I'm using the LAN, which is working so much better. So here we go. We're full steam ahead now for the second half of this show, ladies and gentlemen.
Which brings us to our very next super duper fun, upbeat,
thank goodness,
news story. I got there.
That's what you were looking for.
Yeah, I was looking for the word story. My God, it's been a long day. I've talked to way more people than I have in the last 5 weeks alone. So,
true.
Yeah, it's been a long day. David, what's the news?
Yeah, guys. So this is also from the investor meeting from Disney. And these are a couple of, me and Thomas just picked out a few other projects we saw coming out of the investment that we're excited for outside of Marvel and Star Wars. Mine specifically is Lightyear, which is I'm just going to read it straight from Disney's PDF here. Lightyear, slated to open in theaters on June 17th, 2022. That is 2 days after my 24th birthday.
Wow.
I can't wait.
Jesus.
It is a sci-fi action adventure and the definitive origin story of Buzz Lightyear, voiced by Chris Evans.
America's ass.
Indeed.
And according to Reddit, America's something else.
Ruh-roh. Buzz. The hero was inspired. The hero who inspired the toy. So yeah, it's not the toy Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story. It is Buzz Lightyear, the actual character that the toy is inspired by. The film reveals how a young test pilot became the space ranger that we all know and love today. Lightyear is directed by Angus McLean and produced by Galen
directed by who? I'm sorry. I definitely talked over you. I'm sorry about that.
Angus McLean.
Ooh.
Yeah. So anyway, Lightyear. I'm super excited for this. It was awesome. It's going to be weird and not being Tim Allen as the voice. That's going to be really jarring, but it's Chris Evans. So how can you really complain? And
he's not going to be a toy, so it's
it works. I think actually the way they're handling this, and okay, so this is going to be a really one of the things I'm so excited for about this, or why I'm so excited for, I should say, is when I was a kid, I used to have this VHS that was a Buzz Lightyear movie, and it wasn't Toy Story, it was Buzz Lightyear, and I would watch it it was an animated thing. I'm telling you, I had it. I don't know what it was, but I'd watch it it was just some little movie I had on VHS, and I loved it, right? And it was actually him doing stuff. Maybe I'm tripping, but I'm pretty sure it was the thing.
Is that even from this reality, or would be the Mandela effect on out of here?
It could be the Mandela effect. 90s movie. I'm trying to find, because I'm telling you, I had a VHS.
Yo, that's wild, dude. I've never even heard of that. Granted, I was also I am also I'm a lot older than you.
Yes.
I care to remember. It exists.
Yes, from 2000. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command: The Adventure Begins. It was an hour. It was an hour and 10 minutes.
I'm jealous.
Tim Allen was him. Yeah, I knew it was. I knew it existed. I remember.
I'm trying to think of words for it.
It was an animated.
Can you screen share the cover of it?
Okay, yeah, I was on my tablet.
I definitely remember something where we saw him go fight Zurg.
Yes, I'm telling you, it was a galactic thing, and I loved it. Right?
Yeah. But I remember it being still the toy.
Yeah, and I'm surprised no one's like brought it up. Let me see if I can kind of pull up this image really quick. Yeah, and it was Tim Allen. Dude, I'm telling you. And when I initially saw this news, this is the first thing I thought of, because you probably asked my mom. I remember it was orange. I put it in there. I'd always watch it. So this is like something kind of near and dear to my heart.
Light year past.
Oh, some would say. Here we go. Hopefully you guys can see my screen now. There it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I do remember this.
Yeah, that's it. From 2000. I had the VHS, boom, plug it in, and I'd be off. So to me, it almost feels like they're kind of remaking this in a way, which is some straight to VHS, random, who even knows what the story was, an hour and 10 minutes that I loved as a little kid.
Wait, but you don't even know what the story was and you watched it all the time?
I don't remember, dude. I was like a little kid.
Okay, first off, what year were you born?
98.
Oh my God. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I was at least like 4 when Lion King came out, so that's understandable. It's respect. Okay,
yeah, and it's also not Lion King where you watch it 100,000 times and you get older too. It's like, I never watched it after a certain period of my life, but I mean, just the fact that I do remember even watching it at all. Wrong
button.
Oh, whoops, I exited it out. Yeah, so that was one of the first things I thought of. I'm super excited. I think that Chris Evans is going to kill it. I think it could look really, really cool. I think it'll be awesome to see Buzz Lightyear doing Buzz Lightyear things, not just being the toy. It'll almost, like how I kind of pictured in my head is, remember Buzz from Toy Story 1, the way he acted? He was a toy, but almost imagine that, but actually serious and really happening. So Thomas, you saw the Lightyear news. What do you think?
I'm super stoked on the Lightyear. You only picked one. So
I did.
This is gonna be a little awkward. I'm gonna run down a list. All right, some of the things that really excited me the most.
Sure.
They renewed Mayans Mc for FX because, ladies and gentlemen, FX is owned by Disney. Hurts my brain, but it's a thing. They renewed What We Do in the Shadows, I do believe, for season 3. I think that's been renewed for a long time, but it's important to know because it might be my favorite show on television now. I love that show so much. If you've never seen What We Do in the Shadows, the movie, written by Jermaine Clement and Taika Waititi, and then the script was thrown away and burned, and they improvised the entire movie. Go watch it. And then they made a show about it, and Taika Waititi directs the entire first season. It is, oh my God, I could go on for days about this. Anyways, they announced an Alien series on FX, which is intriguing. Pretty excited about that. I say that, but I don't think I've seen an Alien movie my entire life. I don't like scary movies. Limitless with Chris Hemsworth definitely is up. I watched that. Welcome to Earth with Will Smith. I can't believe I forgot Will Smith's name. That looks wild and crazy. And then, of course, we get into like the Disney stuff. I'm very excited for Turner and Hooch because I love that movie with Tom Hanks and El Doggo, and I don't remember. I can't remember who they have as Turner, but it's a hilarious person. But I mean, you give me a show with a dog, I'm in.
Yeah,
the Mysterious Benedict Society looks. I've never heard of it until this, and I'm in. I'm very excited about that. For peculiar kids that don't really fit in, give it to me. Hocus Pocus 2. I'm not as excited as everybody else, but I have to say it because it's important. I am excited about Night at the Museum, the animated movie. That looks very fun, very, very different.
Yeah.
They announced Sister Act 3. That's a big deal for me. I definitely watched Sister Act 2 a lot when I was a child. And David, I was giving you crap earlier. I don't remember a damn thing from Sister Act 2.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know we destroyed that VHS. But again, like I said, Lion King, I was 5 when it came out. So that's
okay.
More,
yeah.
That was where my brain went. I was like, I'm an idiot. And then they got into the animation studios, and boy, did they drop some. Okay, first off, Baymax the series, give it. This is my.
Cool.
I'm so excited, and we're gonna get to see him do his like main purpose, which is be a nurse droid. And it sounds like it's in an anthology series a little bit, so each episode is gonna be different. Zootopia Plus, which I mean, quite honestly, man,
What's
that
it
movie.
called that?
I don't, because it's on Disney Plus, dude. I don't know. You're asking questions. I don't have answers to. Listen, it's Zootopia Plus definitely sounds like an anthology series. We're gonna get into the characters and animals that we never got to know about in the movie. Encanto, which has, and here's why I'm excited. Lin-Manuel Miranda. I am anything he's a part of. I'm in. Period.
Yeah.
Done.
What was he in? I remember hearing this announcement.
Encanto. He's been writing the music for the last 3 years.
Yeah, wow.
I'm hyped for that. I've never seen Princess and the Frog, so I'm not as excited about Tiana.
I'm kind of excited for that one.
I just never saw the movie. I'm sure if I saw it, I'd be more excited.
That one's live action, right?
No. Oh no, that's an animated.
That's animated. Okay,
animated show.
Little Mermaid. That's live action.
Correct.
Yes.
Now here's something that a lot of people really have not been talking about. It's I don't know. I don't want to say this wrong, but I'm going to say it wrong. Iwaju, which is Kugali, is a Nigerian animation studio whom someone from Disney saw them say like, "Oh, we're going to take down Disney," and they were like, "Huh." And they saw what they were doing, and they hired them, and they're making an entirely original, brand new animated movie.
Yeah.
I do believe it's a movie, actually. It might be a series, but I think it's a movie.
Original series.
It's an original series?
Yeah.
I can't really
see. All new original series coming to Disney Plus in 2022. The series is the first of its kind collaboration between Walt Disney Animated Studios and Pan-African comic book entertainment company, Kujali. I hope I pronounced that right. And its founders, Yeah.
Oh, so you have the words open. I just have the
I got the PDF, brother.
Perfect. So, and then obviously this is probably my most excited thing. Moana. Make way for Moana on Disney Plus, and I will roll on.
This series is gonna kill on Disney Plus. I feel like.
Seriously, Moana might be my favorite Disney movie after 2010.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I say Disney, not Pixar, because Pixar.
Yeah.
They've got some bangers, but like I love Moana. Moana reminds me of Lilo and Stitch, but with music. And everybody knows I love a damn good musical. I love musicals so much. And then we're going to move on to Pixar, and this will round it all out, because you can't talk about favorite stuff you're excited for on Disney and not talk about Dog Days, because your boy loves a doggy, and I may or may not. I totally cried when I saw the clip, and he's like, "Puppies!" And I'm like, "That's me." And he's like, "Oh, puppy teeth! Ow, ow, ow!" And I was like, "Oh, I miss those puppy teeth."
I'm upset they're still milking Cars, dude. Why is there a Cars Disney Plus series?
We were positive. We were so positive, and then you came in with a car crash. We made a right turn
list again. And I'm like, oh yeah, cool new Luca Dog Days, Turning Red, all new stuff. Lightyear sounds awesome. And then Cars, like, of course, another Cars iteration. Like, are you joking me,
David? Your reaction? All I have to say is, wow.
I never even saw Cars 3 because Cars 2 is so bad.
I did not see Cars 2 or 3.
I don't like 2.
I don't like Cars enough to watch any of those. I didn't. I think I watched some of Planes. I might have been over when I tried.
Cars is like Pixar's like worst piece of content in my opinion, and they just milk it dry.
Oh, Pixar.
Sorry, yeah, Pixar. Yeah.
You said that.
I said Pixar. Okay, yeah.
You did. You know, I don't like Cars, so I agree with you. I don't care. People are like, "Oh my God, you're a civil engineer. Why don't you like Cars?" Because it's not a house. It's not waterways. It's not a bridge. It's tiny little screws that I get mad because my big fat hands. Anyways, moving on. We should take a commercial break before we move on to Mando.
So you wouldn't say you're a believer in Cars?
Is that supposed to mean something?
The Believer is the name of the Mandalorian episode. Sorry.
Should have had a V8. I'm not a believer in the Cars cinematic thing. I really hit my face really hard, and now I'm oh my god! Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back with the Mandalorian. Don't go anywhere.
JBauerArt has the graphic design skills you need to develop your next logo and at an affordable price. But he's not just a one-trick pony. Follow JBauerArt on social media to interact during live paintings and see all of his previous artwork, which you can buy exclusively at JBauerArtShop.com. Not only is he an artist, this beautiful son of a blue brings you the Back Talk with Bauer podcast every week with unique guests. And every month he hosts a special Back Talk with Friends episode that can only be described as chaotic and hilarious. Need a video intro or commercial? JBauerArt has you covered. For all of this and more, follow JBauerArt on social media. That's JBauerArt. Check out JBauerArt.com for a full portfolio and JBauerArtShop.com to buy that special painting for you and your loved ones.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to dive right. We're going to drive. I'm so tired.
Din Djarin without his mask was so cool, dude. I loved that whole scene so much.
Okay, so Mando, I'm gonna give y'all all the brief synopsis so we can get to it. All right, we start on the chop fields. Prisoner 11101010101, whatever his number was. Migs Mayfield. They take him. We see Boba Fett a new paint job. We go to Morak. We have to get this truck. It's got Rhydonium. Rhydonium is explosive. That's important to know. I didn't know that. So that was interesting when it's like, oh, it blew up. The Rhydonium's stable. Why would it be stable? Anyways, we fight off pirates. Then we're happy to see TIE Fighter. I mean, I'm always happy to see TIE Fighter.
No, but that was so cool, right?
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, stormtroopers, and you're first like, oh, those dirty sons. Oh my god!
Like, it's Mando. It's like the first time ever that it's like the TIE fighters are saving the day, not X-Wings, and the stormtroopers are like, and they're playing like heroic music when they're coming out. That was just a real cool moment, I thought.
So good. We get inside, we meet Valen Hess. Mando takes his mask off. We talk about Valen Hess. We shoot Valen Hess. We shoot all the other guys, and then we extract everyone. Migs Mayfield shoots the Rhydonium. It explodes super duper big. And then Migs earns his freedom. That is the word. And then we get, first off, the fact that I don't have a Captain America clip lined up for this is a damn shame. But all I could think when Cara Dune said, so what's our next move, is let's go get this son of a bitch.
Yeah, right.
All I could think about was that. And then we get the greatest hologram in the history of holograms.
A great hologram. I don't know about all that. But a great hologram.
Oh. Okay, what do you rank above it right now? Boom, on the spot. Can I be on my own name? Was that it? That's a good one.
When I first saw, when I was like younger, the like when I was a dumb kid and we're in Empire Strikes Back and the Emperor pops up when Vader kneels and the Emperor pops up, because at first I was like, holy crap, like Vader's kneeling, like that's so cool, and then it's the Emperor and it's like, ooh, and it's so like, I think I don't know if that's the best, but that one to me is like really, really good and like pivotal to Star Wars. So this one was fantastic though. I agree.
This is pivotal.
It is pivotal. And it was a great set of lines.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Which I'm working on getting those exact lines because it was gold. But let's go ahead and talk about the meat of this episode. And it's the scene inside the officer's mess. All right.
Okay. Wait. Which one is this? The one without the helmet?
Yeah, no. With scanning the helmet and taking the helmet off, and then
so
talking to
good.
Alan S, and then it's like, holy crap! And then you actually care about Mayfeld. Like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
You know what makes me really, really happy is that this was Rick Famuyiwa's episode of Mando season 2, and his first two episodes was episode 2 with the Jawas and Suka.
yeah.
And then my favorite standalone episode, which is the fracking heist, baby. The heist, the prisoner, excuse me, that episode 6. That is, I stand by that being one of my favorite episodes. And then we learned all this stuff about Miggs Mayfeld, which, again, important to note, he didn't kill the guy. He just held the gun to his face, and he had to make that decision. But, of course, the crazy Twi'lek is the one who killed him. And his immediate response is, you crazy Twee. So it's like, oh, okay, he's actually not as bad. Like, I thought he was just a shitbag because it's Bill Burr.
Right.
And he plays that character so well. But we find out that he left the Empire for reasons. But David, let's talk about Pedro Pascal.
Yes.
And his face, and how shocked I was to see his face again.
Dude, I thought this was I loved how they held it for a while. Like, it wasn't just he takes it off, gets scanned, and back on. No, it's like we're getting a full, because we see it for what, like a split second, or like, you know, like almost like one shot, like last season in chapter 8.
Oh, yeah.
And like this time we actually get a scene with it. It's cool that like Mayfield actually gets to interact with them with it off. It's just interesting seeing Pedro Pascal act his face, really, right? I mean, it's actually seeing him really act and be the Mandalorian. And it's, I don't know, I thought it was such a cool, riveting scene. Like, I was honestly saying, like, oh, like, because, and I think they did it perfectly, where it wasn't the whole episode or anything like that, but it was like a full scene of no helmet, and it made sense that he didn't have his helmet on. And I loved the uncomfort you could tell he had of it being off. It almost felt like he was like naked in a way. Like, you could tell that was just kind of, he was like uneasy about it, which makes sense because he's so hesitant to take it off, and it's like it's his whole ideal is it being on. And this whole season has been him seeing other Mandalorians not care about such things, and seeing that there are other the ways. And I think that's definitely leading to something down the road, maybe even next week.
And the best part is it was beautifully set up. Yeah, you know, it's like, but guess what? I'm a survivor just like you. Let's get one thing straight. You and I are nothing alike. I don't know. It seems to me like your rules start to change when you get desperate.
Really good. Yeah.
I mean, look at you. You said you couldn't take your helmet off, and now you got a stormtrooper one on. So what's the rule? Is it you can't take off your Mando helmet, or you can't show your face? Because there is a difference.
Yep. And I thought this was great. Like, this was a great back and forth, because he was making such a great point, right?
He's not wrong at any point.
Not at all. And because of Grogu, like, Mando's from episode 1 till now, think about how much like Din Djarin has changed. He has the biggest soft spot in the world for Grogu. He'll do anything for him. It's not just like he doesn't have his own. He's a parent, right? He doesn't care about himself anymore, or like to some degree, he doesn't care about his own mission. His mission is the kid. So now it's whatever. He'll take off the helmet. He'll do whatever. He'll do a dance. He'll sing. Like, he'll just to get the baby back.
Do you think we'll get a musical episode?
Don't get your hopes up for the Mandalorian holiday special.
I wasn't, but now I am, because I just wanted a musical episode, bro. We're down with the oh my god!
Like
why
that,
did I go do that?
Like that one Flash episode that was a musical. Back when I watched the Flash.
I love it, dude. I'm your super friend. Your super friend. I'll be there in the nick of time if you're ever in a spot. Anyways, moving on.
I need to know.
You should do a musical episode.
Oh gosh,
bro.
I am not musically gifted.
Oh, we don't have. We should just cover musicals, like on a whole episode, like our favorite musicals, like Sound of Music, Hamilton, The Lion King. Oh my God, can we get? Do you know what I want on Disney Plus? I want the Lion King stage production on Disney Plus. I need that.
That'd be cool.
I don't think I'll ever get to go see it if like theaters ever open again, you know. But like, I need it. I love The Lion King. Give me the stage production.
I think it'd be cool seeing more stage productions on Disney Plus because clearly Hamilton has been like just such a part of the zeitgeist over the last 5 years.
Yeah, man.
But
I knew a lot about Hamilton without knowing a thing about Hamilton.
I could see Lion King coming on Disney Plus one day.
That's the one.
That'd be really cool. So Thomas,
yes,
the Believer.
The Believer. Yeah, I was getting back. So the thing that I love the most about him with his helmet off is if you really pay attention to his acting, his eyes and his movement of his head, he's still wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
Like
it's very still, more moving of the eyes than his neck. And it's really interesting.
It comes down to like when he doesn't want to be looking at something, he stares ahead. Like he was staring here at the table, but he had his eyes over here like, this piece of shit, Valen Hess. I want to shoot him in the face so bad. And then Mayfeld says something, and he instantly jerks his head over there, and he's like,
"Right, yeah."
And then he just looks at him. He's like, "Don't do that, please. Don't do that." And then he instantly knows he's gonna shoot this guy because he's pissed off about what he did on Burning Con, which we didn't even. I skipped past this. Operation Cinder, baby. Holy shit. As soon as they mentioned Operation Cinder, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I was like, why is this important? Why is this important? That's right. They burned everything to the ground because the emperor's a child. If I can, I never can.
This is a fact.
Love it. Absolutely mind blowing. And the oh my God, dude, the best part is watching. So we have this scene is the entire crux of this episode. We have fun in the beginning. We get to see Mando with some spear fighting.
I loved the
fights.
Yeah, shout out to that. Shout out to him putting on that other outfit, like talking about the rules and like you mentioned that scene where it's like, all right, your rules keep changing. Like, what does it mean? Like what are you really about? And I love seeing him in the other outfit, and it's still you could totally tell it was still him. Like you could tell, like it was just by the way he moves and all that stuff. And it's funny how our eyes almost, I think, have gotten so trained to know how the Mandalorian moves and all these different things. Where when he was in that different outfit, there was no question it was him in there. Which is a shout out to the acting
too.
Yeah,
like his shoulders, he wasn't like this. It was like
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, exactly.
His shoulders were down. And he's like, and he even points it out. He's like, oh, the shame. And it's like, dude, he's so ashamed to be wearing that crap. Yeah. And when he starts fighting and he goes hand to hand, he starts fighting like he's got Beskar, and it fracks him up.
Yeah, I know. You can almost tell he was so used to he's so used to Beskar. He's like, oh, this isn't it. I think he gets shot once or something, or he gets hit. And I remember exactly what you're talking about, where he gets hit by something, and you can almost tell the blow was more than he was expecting. He's like, oh, right. Like, I'm not in my cool armor now.
Yeah, and he lost an entire shoulder pauldron, which is just painful.
Yeah.
And then, when Valen Hess is doing his, oh my God, this is such a beautiful scene between Valen Hess and everybody else. Here are some amazing quotes. How about a toast to Operation Cinder? Now, there's a man who knows his history. No, I just don't know it. I lived it. I was in Burning Con. Valen Hess goes, that was a hard day. I had to make many unpleasant decisions. Mayfeld, this is when the fire gets started. Yes, you did. Entire city gone in moments, along with everybody in it. We lost our whole division that day. That's when Mando looks over and goes, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Man, that was like 10,000 people. Valen Hess is, yep, all heroes of the Empire. Yeah, and all dead.
That was
good. Thank you. And that's when Mando goes, please don't. Like, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
And then we get to the heart
you see
of
the look in his eyes.
Yeah. And, depends on, and as soon as, really, it was like, well, it was all a small sacrifice for the greater good. And Mayfeld goes, depends on who you ask, don't you think? And it's like, oh, this is where it's going. Mayfeld says, all those people, the ones who died, was it good for them? Their families? The guys I served with? Civilians, those poor mudscuffers died defending their homes, fighting for freedom. Was it good for them? And this is where Valen Hest really comes in. But we've outlasted them, son. They're eating themselves alive. The new republic is in complete disarray, and we grow stronger. Another shout out to how the new republic sucks.
So he claims.
But also, he's not the only one that's claimed that. Grief Karga, right? There's a lot of people who said that. You see, with the Rhydonium you delivered, we can create havoc that's gonna make Burn and Khan just pale in comparison. And then they're gonna turn to us once again. You see, boys, everybody thinks they want freedom, but what they really want is order. Like the First Order. When they realize that, they're going to welcome us back with open arms. To the Empire.
It's really interesting seeing this like time period of the Empire and these guys that are still so allegiant to it. When it's like after when you watch Return of the Jedi, it's like, oh yeah, it's over. And it's like, no, there's still a lot of people that are still brainwashed. Yeah, exactly. And people with guns and stormtroopers and stuff and all these little, you think about the 19 years in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, and even between then and Episode 6, just how much the Empire spread across the galaxy and all these, these random mining areas, like these hidden bunkers and stuff. It's all throughout. All these different planets. It's really interesting to see this point of view 5 years after the Empire fell, Yeah. And I think we'll get a lot more of it in Rangers of the New Republic. That movie or that show, you would think, because it's about the New Republic, you'll probably see more of the, I guess, political, not political, but kind of the more power struggle between the two new uprising forces, I guess, that are more on the political side of things.
I do think, because it's Rangers of the New Rangers. I instantly went to Zordon on that one. Rangers of the New Republic. I do think we'll get a lot more of the political policies, the red tape, if you will. Like Captain Carson's like, the people on the core worlds don't think of anything, but there's something going on out here. Those guys are probably going to bend a lot of rules, Cara Dune, to do whatever they got to do to take down any Imperials they can. Yeah. So, and that is where, like that whole rules are made to be broken bull crap that my elders told me, and then they made stupid rules, so I broke them, and they were really pissed off. It sucks to suck. I listened. They all, they're gonna have to do some dirty work, and I think that's why the New Republic really doesn't get very far, because they break their rules, and that earns respect of some people, and it loses the respect of others. But back to the scene, the whole time, as soon as Mayfeld hits the guys I served with, from that point on, he is seething with rage, and he's just like, I'm trying not to show it. And then he gets to the point, and he's got tears forming, and he just shoots him. And it's like,
it's awesome.
The best part of that episode, in my opinion, for like letting it all kind of soak in, is Mando just goes, looks at him, and everyone just it all stops. The sound.
Yeah, it just, it's one of those moments.
The audio mix is just silence, and then it cuts to all the other guys, and they're like, wait, that's not supposed to happen.
Like, they're like, wait, what?
And then boom. And then it's just like they look at each other, and it's just guns ablazing. Like, shoot your way out. Absolutely loved it. And now I want Migs Mayfeld in Rangers of the New Republic.
Mayfeld, I will say, like, he was good in the Prisoner episode. I liked Mayfeld. He really like stole my like attention in this one. Like we got more of him, right? You heard that whole scene and his troops, and like you see how he's not really a bad guy. He's not also like a really great guy, but he's a person, you know, and he's been through all this crap and he had to serve under the Empire. And it's like, it's interesting to see these sort of people that aren't Luke Skywalker and all that stuff of you know, Star Wars, like normal people, quote unquote.
The guys in the trenches.
Yeah, exactly. And we get it. Honestly, that's probably one of my favorite parts of Solo, the film, because you get to see a bit more of that with Han, you know, going through that and being part of the Empire and stuff like that. So anyway,
I wish we had more of in that movie.
Yeah, right. I agree. I totally agree with that. But we're getting some more now in Mando. And come on. All right. I don't know what else you want to talk about this episode. Next episode, give me a flashback scene, please. You've gotten like 0 this season. I knew you were going
to say that. I mentioned that to my nephew yesterday. He was playing Fallen Order, and he gets to a flashback. He goes, "Whoa, what?" And I was like, "Flashback Star Wars scene. Enjoy it. David loves these." And he was, "Who's David?" And I was like, "Oh man, God, stop getting grounded and watch my podcast." But no, seriously. Here's what I want to talk about in this episode. It is the greatest hologram in the history of holograms. Moff Gideon, you have something I want. You may think you have some idea of what you're in possession of, but you do not. Soon, he will be back with me. He means more to me than you will ever know. Mandalorian loves his kid.
What a softie.
And it's like
it's coming though next.
And it is said with such like, he means more to me. And you can hear it in his voice when he says that, and then he goes, "Then you will ever know." And it's like, he wants to cut his head off. Yeah. Like, I've heard my dad hit that tone before, and it's like, oh, that's the tone of voice you don't want. That's not dad. I'm gonna murder you tone.
Right. Exactly.
That, like, he is such a soft, and the fact that he knows, he remembered exactly what Moff Gideon said. Yeah. That's important to know, and that he throws it back on him. And I love Moff Gideon's reaction. He's just like, good, he'll come to us. Like, it's like, oh, we're getting it. Now, in terms of next week, fan theory. Yep. I mentioned this yesterday. I don't think we succeeded in saving Grogu from the Empire this episode.
I think we do.
But, okay. On your flashback thing, though, I do think we get a flashback. Because it has been aggressively rumored by many people involved with the show that we'll get a little bit more history on the Darksaber. And it was said after Bo-Katan's episode by Katie Sackhoff. She said, "No, you will get a little bit more of the history of the Darksaber." She's like, "I can say that. I don't think that's a big deal." And she might have worded it a little bit differently, and maybe I'm inferring that she said we will, but it is what it is. I genuinely think, you know, he whips it out at the end of episode 5, and then we don't see Moff Gideon again until the end of this episode. End of episode 6, excuse me. And we don't see it again until the end of this him again until the end of this episode, which I loved, by the way. We know where Grogu's at, and it's the first episode without any Grogu whatsoever the entire series, mind you.
Wow, yeah, that is true.
Not a single second of Grogu.
That's sad.
Only in like the previously on the Mandalorian. Only in that section. So very exciting. That we have coming up. And I got this time. No, Terry, we do not have a runtime for the next episode yet. It is Jon Favreau. I gander roughly 50 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say 55, or I'd say like nearly an hour probably.
Yeah, I'd say
a lot to do here.
They do have a lot to do. And because they know where Moff Gideon is, you know, like, oh, we know where Migs Mayfeld is. We started there. I have a feeling I think a lot of this episode will be from Moff Gideon's perspective.
I love that. I've been wanting more Moff Gideon.
Same.
And I know we're getting some next episode or next season more.
And I think this sets all of that up. I think this is, you know, we know Mando's coming to him. So are we going to be with him while we do this infiltration? Or are we going to be from the other side where the entire time we question whether Mando's going to succeed or not? And then about halfway through the episode, we get the showdown we've been waiting for.
I really am looking forward to it. It's gonna be Beskar Blade or
Dark
Spear.
Saber versus Beskar Spear. Yes.
Yeah, I am looking forward to it. I cannot wait for Friday. I will have a trouble holding in all of my thoughts until next Monday's show.
Yeah, and I'm going hiking this weekend, so I'm gonna be. I have to watch it before I leave.
Okay.
And then I'm probably gonna watch it hiking because it's with Taylor from the gym.
Taylor.
The Brain Trust. For those of you that don't know, David and I work together at Clemente Center at Florida Tech. Shout out Florida Tech.
Shout out
Throwback. And Taylor's a friend of ours named Taylor. We don't want to drop his name. Taylor Sir. We're gonna call him Taylor Sir. I don't know why that made me laugh as much as it just did. So dumb. Taylor Sir. David, myself, and Taylor, we would all sit. And it's like, oh, I got to go home soon. I got like this. 3 hours later, we're standing in the exact same spots.
Yeah.
Still talking Star Wars, Marvel, movie. Yeah. What's happening? Why is life the way it is? Existentialism. When will I die? You know, the questions that plague us, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll be meeting him in Georgia. We'll be going to Providence State Park like we did last year. And I will have Mando on my iPad. It will be downloaded, and I my dad has not watched this episode yet.
Oh shoot.
Our schedules did not line up. So I'm hoping I can get off at noon from the job, go to there and be like, hey Dad, do you want to watch 2 episodes of a Mandalorian? Because I gotta go to Georgia.
Right.
So hopefully he says yes, and I can at least watch the finale with him. But who knows? Now, I forgot about this. This is the most important part of this episode. It's not, but like visually speaking, David, what are your thoughts on Boba Fett's new paint job?
Oh, I loved it, man. Like I actually, what's funny is I didn't at first when I was watching, I didn't really notice, and then I saw it on Twitter. And I'm like, oh, yeah, and then I actually went back.
Really? You didn't even notice?
Well, see, this is the thing about this episode. I watched it in like the span of like 4 separate sit-down watching periods on my phone.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, there was some half watching happening at moments, like some, something's going on, I'm eating, or like I'm on a break. Like there was a lot of that. So this episode, I think in some parts I might have like missed little stuff like that. And then I like saw it on Twitter. I'm like, oh, really? And then I went back on my laptop later and saw it. Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah,
there it is. It looks fantastic.
We have never seen Boba Fett this painted before. Like he's always been chipped. Like the dent in his helmet has always been. I loved it so much. I lost it at the. Yeah. I watched it with my nephew because he was over this weekend because his birthday's today. Shout out Tan Man, turned 13. Fuck, I'm old. I was 16 when he was born. We're 3 years away from him being the same age I was when he was born. And you know what scares me the most? I'll be the same age my dad was when I was born that same year. I'm not ready for any of these lineups here. But so we watched it and he fell asleep because he was watching it and he was asking questions because he hadn't seen the 2 previous. I watched Ahsoka. Then we watched last week's episode. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head now. Yeah. And then this week.
Oh, the tragedy. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. So we watched both of those and he was asking questions along the way. And I was like, cool. And I was like, I got to let you know right now, there will be no talking during the new episode because I haven't seen it and I have to I guess the plot while I watch. He goes, that sounds exhausting. I'm like, honestly, it's exhausting not to. It's hard to shut my brain off. It's hard to sit down and enjoy that.
I sit back and go,
I can't do that, dude. I have never been able to do that. I'm always like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Oh, what does that do?
Go click.
I'm like, why did he look that way at that time? And so normally I pick up on. That's why I don't watch trailers. I don't know how to shut my brain off. So like on the 3rd or 4th showing, I'll shut my brain off, and it's like, oh my god, that's amazing. And because I'm looking for things, I'm
try.
He fell asleep, so we rewatched it the next day. And in that Valen Hess scene, when he shot him, he goes, I'm confused. Why did he shoot him like right there in front of everybody? And I was like, let me just rewind it for you because I was writing my script for Thor Watches. And then he goes through and I was like, did you get that? He's yeah, that makes it that's a lot easier to pick up when you're not pausing. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. You fell asleep and I have to get the script written and I don't think I'm watching it again. I kind of gotta get this done. And he's like, that was good. That was really good. David, what do you think is going to happen next episode?
Just bullet points. Not many details. I think we're going to get a full, I think we're going to get some action scenes that we're not quite expecting with the Star Avengers or however, the Mand Avengers or however you want to put it.
Star Avengers.
The Mandalorian Avengers. That's the best name yet. Anyway.
Damn it. I'm sorry. I had a thought and it won't work. It doesn't line up. Continue.
But with that group of interesting crime-fighting people, I think we're gonna get some really cool action scenes. I think we're gonna have individual moments of action with each of those characters. It's gonna be really awesome. I do believe Bo-Katan pops up.
How?
How? That's what I'm saying. I don't know how. She's just gonna pop up. Because I don't know how. And the reason why I say she's going to pop up is because her, we think she's going to be in the Ahsoka show, but we also know that her motivation was more with Moff Gideon while Ahsoka was looking for Tarkin. So I think that she's more connected to this story right now happening, which I think we're going to have really cool action sequences with each different character. Cara Dune. Oh my gosh, what is Robot Stomach's name?
Fennec Shand. Robot Stomach, you son of a blue.
Boba Fett, obviously Din Djarin, maybe even Baby Yoda. And then Grogu. I think we're gonna get Grogu. I think we're going to get the Darksaber on the Beskar sphere because that's set up so beautifully.
Yeah, it's ready.
So, and I do think we do get Grogu back. I do think Din Djarin at the end of the day does get Grogu. I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know how it's going to wrap up and set up the next season necessarily, but I do think we do get Grogu in the end. And that's how it ends.
I'm having a vision right now. And as we know from Star Wars, you can't trust it. But I envision, because I was thinking about this. Mando knows where Moff Gideon is. I was like, oh, he could just shout out to Bo-Katan. Maybe reach out to Bo-Katan. Then I remembered he doesn't know she's looking for Moff Gideon. And he does not know Moff Gideon has the Darksaber. So he would have no reason to reach out that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm getting this vision that she randomly pops up and goes, what are you doing here? And he's like, getting my kid. What are you doing here? And it's like, I'm here for the Darksaber. Moff Gideon has it. And he goes, Moff Gideon has my son. And I think because I just said that and I don't have any reason not to say it, he says my son. I don't know.
I love that.
And I need it. And if it happens, you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to cry like a baby. Because Mandalorian loves his little boy.
Yeah.
Terry McIver in the comments has called it the
Mando League.
I dig it.
I like that.
David, before we wrap up all of this, there's an important question from Ryan Permison. Does David drop an F-bomb on this show? And then he follows it up with, David, drop that F-bomb, give in to your anger. And David, you know what I think you should do.
Ryan's not here anymore. I'm not going to do it.
That is totally fair. That is totally fair. Ryan Permiston, you should come back next week because I have convinced him. I will bet dollars upon dollars that he will give us an F-bomb.
That's all I'm gonna say.
David, where can everyone find you on social media?
Yeah, guys.
Oh, wait, hold on. Did I skip something? I skipped something, didn't I? I did not. I forgot I'm tired, guys. Excuse.
Yeah, that felt right. Yeah, you guys can find me on Facebook at David Thompson, my name. Find me on TikTok and Instagram at David J. Thompson on both those social media platforms. And then give me a follow on Twitter at David Thompson with 2 A's in the David. That's where I'm most active. That's where I chit chat the most on social media. It's my favorite form of social media. So go follow me on Twitter. Thomas, how about you?
You can find me at Thomas Carter Rochester -actor on Facebook, at Thomas Carter Rochester, all one word, no hyphens, no spaces, on Instagram at TC Rochester Act. That is TC Rochester. I'm sorry, I forgot how to spell for a second. TCROCHESTERACT. And of course, Life of Thor on YouTube, where YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook is where I drop Thor watches the Mandalorian chapter this week. It'll be chapter 15, The Believer. David, do you have anything to promote this week?
Yeah, just go follow me on the direct. Writing stories fairly often. My latest one was about it was talking a bit about it was a report saying that Tamora Morrison could return or could be casted in Kenobi, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series coming to Disney, which is actually called Obi-Wan Kenobi. So anyway, yeah, go check me out on the direct. Go check out the direct. Write a bunch of stuff up. So yeah, follow me there. Thomas, how about you?
Yes, I have something very, very, very important to promote. I have a job, not the Dick's Sporting Goods job. I do have that job, but I was recently cast as everyone's favorite cannabis cultivationist, Kyle, in a movie called Zombies. Yes, it's going to be a sci-fi original style film, all shot, all written, all directed here in Northwest Florida. And in the comments right here, right now, I am posting the GoFundMe. We are raising money for Zombies so that, everybody can get paid. This movie can get made. We will eventually have the writer, director, and some more of the cast, not just on our show, but on other shows in the HWWS WebTV family. So be on the lookout for that. Support, like, in all honesty, like, if we destroy our goal, I might get paid more. I haven't talked to anyone. I'm just saying that's where my brain goes, which means everyone can get paid a little bit more, which means bills will be easier to pay. We got jobs and mouths to feed. This little Snoke Thursday eats a lot of resin. Okay. He eats a lot. So that's what I have to promote. And of course, lotproductions.threadless.com/collections, and you'll be able to find our shop where we have a brand new son of a bitch. I didn't actually upload it. I'm so sorry. We will have a brand new design up by the end of this week. I will timestamp it, guaranteed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. David,
Ryan's back. Fudge! Sorry.
Brian's back. Yes. He did. He did, but he didn't say fudge. David, I have a quick question for you before we wrap this. I know it's going a little longer than we wanted.
No, we're good.
What are we doing after we do in Mando? Like, what can the people expect?
Oh, well, I used to do this thing called Trilogy of Trilogies. From what I heard, there was this whole story of when we used to do these things called Trilogy of Trilogies. So maybe we do that again, and maybe it's about a certain Disney Plus show coming up that we're going to be preparing for.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. The Trilogy of Trilogies will be back. Not this week, and not next week, but the week after. We will be starting Wanda Maximoff and Vision's story from the beginning. Star Wars. Well, I saw instantly with the Star Wars.
Solo. We're gonna watch Solo. I've got Vision in it.
Avengers. Ooh, it does have Vision. Oh, what a pull! I almost said it again. Avengers: Age of Ultron. Then the week after will be Captain America: Civil War. The week after that, which is the last week before, technically, it'll be like this. It'll be the week of WandaVision premiering.
Yeah.
We will watch Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. We will only cover Wanda's story and Vision's story as it relates to leading into WandaVision. But we have 3 weeks between the end of our coverage of Mando and the start of our coverage of WandaVision. And we felt that this is a beautiful chef's kiss way to bring it back.
Yeah.
We may review it, we may not review it, but we're really going to dive deep into Wanda's story and Vision's story and where it all leads. And I just needed an excuse to watch Endgame again, baby. It's so long that I don't like to Lion King myself. In all honesty, I like to Star Wars. I like to save it, watch it maybe once every 6 months, but that's a lot still.
Yeah, it'll be more like we're going to use these movies as a platform to talk about Wanda and Vision, really lead us into what's going to be we don't even know, 8 episode.
I think they've said 6.
Okay, yeah, six weeks of us discussing that show as we do right now for Mandalorian. So yeah, get ready. Trilogy of Trilogies is going to be back. 4 movies technically, but Endgame's like really brief when it comes to Wanda's story. So get prepared.
I can only think of 2 scenes she's actually in. So,
well, there's the one that's awesome when she almost kills Thanos.
That's one of them. The other is
the funeral, right?
Yeah, but really, it's the scene with Hawkeye. I think they'd both be proud, and it's like,
right? Yeah, that's what I meant at the funeral. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, because they both lost their lost.
Not the rolling shot of seeing every single person there. Not that one. Yeah, I like that.
So crazy. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We hope we'll see you next week. We will have our show. It will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And will I be back from Georgia? Let's hope so.
We can only hope.
Help me, Obi-Wan.
And we'll have a whole Mandalorian season to be able to recap because it'll be all over, right?
You gotta wait over. You frack, man. I need more Star Wars in my life. Seriously, we won't have Star Wars until guaranteed next Christmas. What the F? Yeah. What the flagnard? What the fudge? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. This has been episode 36 of Lights, Thunder, Action. We will see you all next week. We love you.
Bye, everyone.
Hello, I'm Thor, son of Dale, here to tell you about the Life of Thor Productions official shop, the only place where you can get your official merchandise for the Lights, Thunder, Action podcast and Life of Thor's Thor Watches series. Whether you want t-shirts, tanks, hoodies, mugs, and masks, Life of Thor Productions official shop has you covered. If you happen to recognize there's an item that you would like to buy that is not in the official shop, head over to the Lights, Thunder, Action podcast or Life of Thor and request that item, because if you want it, we'll sell it. Just head to lotproductions.threadless.com/collections to get the item that calls out to you via the Force. Again, that is lotproductions.threadless.com/collections. Thank you, and have a Thor-tastic day. Shannon Williams means more to me than you.